Hello, humans. Thank you for joining me for another episode. Today's episode, we're going to go over a floor foundation therapeutic exercise routine. Um, One could use to eliminate shoulder pain. I highly recommend this as a great warm up for pretty much for any activity. I think these floor exercises are just foundation to the way your arm should move. I highly recommend them due to the fact that it keeps my shoulder healthy and it's been proven just through the people I worked with. So let's go over some general education on the shoulder in this episode. First things first, the bones. We have our humerus, we have our clavicle, and then we have our scapula. These bones make up your shoulder. A lot of issues occur as we age due to the fact that our humerus bone moves, but then we forget that there's this communication pattern between the scapula and the humerus. So what these exercises do is making not only they are um, simple, but they make sure that the foundation to the shoulder is that your humerus bone is flexible, but you're also having uh, retraction, decompression, and stabilization of the scapula. Um, so let's go over some of the basic exercises you could do um, on the floor. This routine is basically, like I mentioned, designed to help you guys out to eliminate any kind of shoulder pain. It's going to teach the scapula to be decompressed, retracted, and stable as you teach the arm to move. Um, what you're going to need is to grab a towel. We're going to use the towel for head stability. So you're going to need to roll it up just enough where you don't smash your nose, and also you could actually breathe. And then let's get started. The goal here with the first exercise is basically we're going to fight gravity. We're going to decompress the scap. We're going to retract the scap, and we're going to make sure it's stable as we go through 3 different arm angles with the humerus. So we're going to do extension, horizontal abduction, and flexion. I call it a 5 and 7, 9 and 3, and 11 and 1 routine. Let's set up in a floor positioning, forehead down. So like I mentioned, 5 and 7, we're going to decompress, we're going to retract, and then we're going to lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back down and relax. So we're going to go through 5 repetitions, decompressing, retracting. Then we're going to lift the arm up off the ground. Feel those muscles engage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down and relax. So this is a little bit of humerus extension. You should feel some of your tricep muscles. Teach the scap to stay in that position. Don't shrug. Lift. Higher is not better. Don't change your midline, so don't arch your back. Good breathing. 2, 3, 4, 5. Arm down and relax. Decompression, retraction, stabilization. Lift the arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Arm down and be passive. The down phase is as important as the ending phase, or starting phase and ending phase is important. So don't just drop down. Make sure you're controlling the decompression, retraction, lift. 2, 3, 4, 5. Down and relax. Second angle. So 9 and 3. This is horizontal abduction. Totally different musculatures. So decompressing, retracting. Now we're lifting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
arm down, and relax. So horizontal abduction. Remember, decompressing, retracting, feeling those muscles in the scap. Then, you can fight gravity, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, and relax. Decompression, retraction, stabilization, feel those muscles, don't hold your breath, lift that arm, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, and relax. Make sure the arm is going up and down, not toward your hips. So decompression, retraction, stabilization, lift, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, and relax. Decompression, retraction, feel those muscles stabilize. Lift the arm horizontally, feel that pec stretch, maybe your biceps as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, down, and relax. Decompression, retraction, teach your arm 9 and 3 angles. 2, 3, 4, 5, down, and relax. Last angle, 11 and 1. So we're starting decompression as always. That's the foundation to the shoulder, is decompressing, retracting, and then moving that arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let gravity lead you down. Control. And if you elevate, that's okay. That's just our starting position. You're fighting gravity. It's just the way the exercise is designed. So we're decompressing, retracting, lifting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Arm down and relax. Decompression, retraction, flexion of the humerus. 2, 3, 4, 5. Down and relax. It's not how fast you do this. Make sure you're not arching your low back. You don't want to sacrifice midline stabilization because you have shoulder weakness. Decompression, retraction, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down and relax. Decompression, relax. Don't speed through this. Make sure you feel those stabilizer muscles. That's the foundation to a healthy shoulder. And then teach the arm to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down and relax. So that's the theme to a healthy shoulder. Decompressing, retracting, feeling that stability, and then whatever angle your arm moves, those muscles will be in that right position, so the ball socket of the humerus, scapula, clavicle will have its space to rotate, glide, and spin. So that's the theme to a healthy shoulder. That leads to the next set of exercises, doing decompressing, retracting, feeling that stability. But now we're going to add more movement. Your arm does a lot of functions. So now can I go from 0 degrees with the theme, decompression, retraction, stabilization, and then do a snow angel over, not touching the ground. So we're starting at 5 and 7, going to 12 o'clock, back down. Starting position, 5 and 7. Decompress, retract, stabilize, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Set yourself up at 5 and 7. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If you touch the ground, that means you're losing that stability, decompression, retraction. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Down and relax. If that becomes relatively easy, the next thing you would do is progress with like somewhere between a pound to 3 pounds. Using water bottles if you don't have weights that low. Just grabbing something, tapping overhead, back down. In this case, for the second set, we're going to use, these guys are about 4 pounds, 3.5 pounds ish. So the same setup if you feel that it becomes relatively easy, but it's not. More weight is better. The goal is to create a healthy shoulder by teaching decompression, retraction, stabilization, and then going through the foundations of the humerus bone. And in this case, it's abduction. So can I decompress, retract, stabilize, and create abduction movement? So for the second set, I'm going to demonstrate same setup. Decompress, retract, stabilize. Now I lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So, like I mentioned, it's not about more weight. Just want to demonstrate how a few more weight, a few pounds in your hand is the progression, but you don't want to progress if you have pain. So once you're able to tolerate these 2 exercises, which is going to be the theme, decompression, retraction, stabilization. The next exercise, you set yourself up on the sideline positioning. You use the same towel, but now you put the towel underneath your armpit. Very simple. But due to the way you're positioned here in your sideline positioning, you're fighting gravity, so make sure your shoulder girdle is not nowhere near your neck. So there should be a good separation, hence decompression, retraction, stabilization. So the towel idea here is if you take the towel away, you would have contact with your ribs. So we don't want to do that. We're going to have some space. And then what you're going to do is you're going to fight gravity. You're going to try to externally rotate the bone, which is the little muscles, supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres major minor, and subscapularis. So don't bend the wrist. Start at your tummy. It's like a 90-degree angle. Make sure you're not shrugging here. You're going to lift. You're going to hold. 1, 2, 3. Let gravity lead you back to starting position. It's not about how high, maybe parallel. So if this is 0 degrees, trying to get about 130, 2, 3. Back down. All the magic happens right here as you hold. 1, 2, 3. Back down. It's the little muscles. We're teaching the bone to rotate as you're teaching decompression, retraction, stabilization, keeping the clavicle stable, scapula stable, and then we're rotating that bone. Right here, as you hold it, you'll feel the muscles sparking or engaging, activating, back down. 20 repetitions is key here. Minimal weight, progression to a few pounds, maybe 3 to 5. Really, a lot of repetitions, teaching the bone to move, fighting gravity, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this case. 1, 2, 3. That's 6. 1, 2, 3. That's 7. It's not bending. There's no bending the wrist. 1, 2, 3. That's 8. 1, 2, 3. That's 9. Make sure you're not shrugging. 1, 2, 3. That's 10. Very simple exercises. You shouldn't be doing major lifts if you're having pain. So if you're having pain, I would recommend this. Immediately teaching your these foundation of teaching the bone to move with decompression, retraction, stabilization. We're going to make sure there's no holes in movement here, meaning you don't have any 1, 2, 3, any imbalances. 1, 2, 3, back down. So once you're able to tolerate that, and you can perform 20 repetitions, what you're going to do is progress to next sideline exercise. In this case, what you're going to do is, I would say your starting position is parallel to the floor, arm is straight, make sure you're not shrugging. And now can I lift to 90 degrees? Make sure you're not shrugging. And now deceleration of the bone down or arm down to that starting position is goal. Hold it 1, 2, 3, back up. Make sure you're not shrugging. You might get a pec stretch, bicep stretch. Control the descent without shrugging. Make sure that you're as long as the bottom arm. So if you're short, that might cause pain. It should be as long or maybe longer than the bottom arm. Lift, don't shrug, hold it here. Control the deceleration. Lift, control the deceleration. So we're teaching a horizontal abduction with control. Right here, deceleration, bicep, pec. But also teaching horizontal abduction, this movement that your arm does with your scap being decompressed, retracted, and stable. It's not to touch the ground or touch the arm. It's to be parallel as long as the bottom. Lift to 90 degrees without shrugging. And then decelerating, control down. Lift, decelerate, control down. Lift, decelerate, control down. Lift, decelerate, control down. Okay? Once you're able to tolerate that, we want to teach arm, blade, mid-back communication. The same setup, but now I lift to 90. Once I lift to 90, I rotate my head to my hand, and I try to go as far as I can, looking at my arm, without having my rest of my body come. So, the goal here is to make your neck rotate, make your thoracic rotation as well, with arm horizontal abducting along the way. So 90 degrees, I rotate my neck, and then ideally you should have the ability to go 180 degrees. Other part I forgot to mention is that you want to bring your knees to 90 degrees, maybe a little lower. Make sure you're not rounded in the back. Nice and set up here, don't shrug. Lift to 90. Once you start getting to 90 degrees, rotate the neck. You should always see your hand. So if you're stiff and you don't have the movement here, that's okay. Ideally, you should have the ability to go from 0 degrees, which is this, to 90. So 180 degrees with your knees staying stacked. Along the way, if you have restriction and you feel can't go any further right here, that's okay. Just build the progression. By repetition, you will loosen up and understand that all the key is right here in your scap communicating. The main problem occurs, you just move the arm and don't move the rest of the body, which is a common flaw with this one. You want to teach the arm to rotate with the mid-back. 10 repetitions. And the last exercise is a weight bearing exercise, which is, they're called serratus push-ups. The idea here is to be on your knees, and you want to teach some weight bearing properties into your arm. So, you're on your knees, and then don't shrug. You're going to try to lower yourself by making your blades come together, and then you're going to push up.
So it's another decelerating exercise. And push. So as you lower yourself down, you'll have the blades touch and then push up. Deceleration down, touch, push up. So serratus muscle groups, teaching the arm to be weight bearing, getting a really mobile scap, mid back, but making sure I don't shrug and overwhelm my upper trap. And this is a fantastic routine that's been, like I mentioned, it will teach decompression, retraction, stabilization, and you will teach your arm to move through a bunch of planes and it will, along the way, you will strengthen those muscles and hopefully get rid of the pain. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. And like I mentioned, please follow the Instagram, and I also recently set up a Patreon, so please subscribe there to get additional videos and education. So, hope you guys like the video. I will make a continuing part 2 to this. So this is, like I mentioned, you should be doing this to not only warm up, but also to eliminate pain. These are really simple exercises. It's not going to just take one session to get rid of the pain. It may take you a few repetitive days doing these. But these are the foundations to a strong and healthy shoulder.